We're not going home! And just like that, this series is going to Game 6. Hello everyone, my name is Zachary Nolan, and this is my thoughts on Game 5. Wow, what a game. So first off, Rupe Hintz is out of the lineup tonight. He was injured in the last game. So let's start it off. The Stars, I thought, were done after such a disappointing and such a really close competitive game the night before. I really didn't think the Stars were going to have... I didn't think they were going to be able to get out of this hole. That changed very quickly because, well, right away, Seguin high sticks Braden point. Oh dear. So I'm watching this and I'm thinking, well, let's see that 75% Tampa Bay power play go. Nope, they kill it off, and the Stars can get a chance with 9:20 left. And then the Stars' chance, like a mini side breakaway at 8:30 left in the period. However, they could not score on that. Harry then drives through the slot in kind of like a scramble type situation where the puck's just kind of bouncing from between the blue line, from around where the blue line is, just to the front of the net. It doesn't really matter how it gets there, but it does. Right to Corey Perry. Perry, Scory Perry, by the way. Apparently that's a nickname he likes. It's kind of dumb. Comes through the slot to make it 1-0 for Dallas. Now, right after the bat, they talked about this actually between the two periods, but Anton Hudobin did a lot better job of clearing away any type of loose change or any rebounds that were there, which is something you really need because, like, when you've watched the last couple Stanley Cup Finals, rebound goals, those dirty, nitty-gritty goals, are huge in those series because a lot of the times the teams are both very beat up, bent out of shape type things, and so it's not going to be always the clean goal, although we do see those on occasion, but it's going to be the nitty-gritty type goals that you need from your Stars or even from some of your lower-end guys to make that happen, just like the Corey Perry goal. And Anton Hudobin being able to clear a lot of pucks out was extremely, extremely helpful for the Dallas Stars. Now, Pavelski makes a big save on Corey Perry in the second period at 17:55. However, right after that, then I would say, Palat drives the net around Lindell to make it a 1-1 game. This play, I feel like I've seen like 18 times by the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're just so fast. Like, Palat, Point, Kucherov, even Stamkos, they blow by your defenseman, and when you are not on your game, they will make mincemeat of the defense and just take it right to the net. It's where speed, especially in a modern game, is so much in success. And it's why teams have to be able to get proactive with their back checking and how they attack like opposing forwards. Because if you are not on them right away, you give them that room, they will make an opening for themselves and they will beat you for it. Anton Hudobin kind of made one of those plays where it's like he thought that Palat wasn't going to get the room around him, so he just kind of dropped down into the butterfly and then he beat him wide, which is a goal we see quite often, but again, maybe take a swing at that with a poke check or something like that. Then after that, Tampa gets another good chance at 8:55. And then Verhaeghe gets a slashing penalty at 7:27. This was a bad, bad penalty. The play is in the Stars' end. Like, the Stars are working a breakout out of their own zone. And not like the type of breakout like, oh, they've been stuck in their own zone for a while. No, it was like where the defenseman took it back type thing. And Verhaeghe just slashes the stick right out of the guy's hands. And it's like, well, that wasn't smart, was it? And Gurianov, who has been a little bit snake-bitten in this series, gets a very good chance at 5:47, but cannot cash. And then we get to a point that, like, a point of contention that I have seen all over these finals, and a bit through the course of the playoffs as a whole, but especially in these finals. What is with these players' shift lengths? Yes, they are NHL caliber stars, but can someone explain to me why Victor Hedman is on for 3 minutes? What can you do in 3 minutes that you couldn't do in the first a minute and a half? Because for the record, like, we are told as players, well, goalies, we have to stay there for the whole 60 minutes. But the players, they are expected to usually go like a 45-second to a minute and a half shift. Now, I understand that there is a change from a guy's cardio level when he goes through the minor hockey league system to the National Hockey League playoffs. However, couldn't there be an argument as well that, comparably speaking, you have to be able to give all of that energy towards the play. So, and otherwise you're not really giving it your all. Like, you have to expend a certain amount of energy, otherwise what was the point of that shift? Victor Hedman is an elite defenseman. He was one of the top picks for the Norris. However, I just don't understand how he thinks he can be fully effective on a 3-minute shift. Like, that guy is going to be dead tired. And then you can't use him for at least 3 to 4 minutes, which can feel like a long time. Like, it just slowly chips and chips away at your defenseman. But, like, this is what we've been seeing all series. We'll get, like, updates. It's like, oh, Kibby Radz is out there for 1:45. Oh, Heiskanen's out there for 2.5 minutes. Just a lot of long shifts in these playoffs. And especially against either a really strong defensive team that can really generate a good counterattack like Dallas, or a team that is riddled with speed everywhere like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like, being caught flat-footed and out of gas is something that you cannot have happen to you. So that pretty much goes into, so they're tied going into the third. Now, I don't know, this game was, it looked very tense for the Dallas Stars, I will say. I think a lot of guys were playing scared. However, it did motivate them sometimes in the best way. Stars get a low chance at the 18-minute mark. However, then Sergachev threw a screen, 17 minutes left in the third, and that would be the Stanley Cup winning goal. No, they tied it. Oh, really? Pavelski again. Well, I'll be there. Captain America USA sets the record now for most goals by an American. Scores with 6:25 left in the third period. And now we are off to overtime. This is a place we've been before. This is a place that Tampa's been a lot. Tampa, by the way, and I thought this was going to happen, Tampa has won every series in overtime. Tampa beat Columbus actually they beat them in a 5 overtime game in game 1, but they then beat them in game 5 in overtime. They beat Boston in game 5 in overtime. They lost to the Islanders in game 5 in overtime, then swiftly kicked them to the curb in game 6 in overtime. So Tampa knows how to win in overtime to win a series. Dallas has won quite a few games in overtime, including the most notable ones, of course, being Game 7 against the Colorado Avalanche in overtime, and Game 5 against the Vegas Golden Knights, as well as another win against Vegas in overtime, and one against Calgary, I believe. But I thought this is where Tampa wins it. This is where Stevie Stamkos gets his cup. It won't be this weekend. They'll have to wait for another chance on Monday. However, before we get to that, a lot happened in these overtime periods. But you know what didn't happen? A penalty. Not a single penalty was called because, as we all know, overtime in a Stanley Cup winning game, possibly winning game, is like the purge. The only rule is that there are no rules. Murder is legal, and try not to suck too hard when you get decked. So, there was a lot of chances by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kucherov had a great chance at 16:28. There was a insanely lucky save by Dobby at 18:12. My God. So, the shot is from the point, and either a Tampa player or a Dallas player just goes like this with a stick. The puck drops from about head height, where Hudobin's going like this, and hits the bottom of his stick while he's standing up like a mannequin. Do you realize how lucky you have to be standing up like this with your stick off the ice and have it hit the blade of your stick in midair and still not go in the net? Very lucky. So, late in that period, Alexander Radulov had a chance on a breakaway, but he just could not corral it, and there was no penalty there. There isn't. If you slow it down, you might think there's a penalty there, but that's why a lot of times people get really upset when they watch these slow motion replays of plays, because they want to see the intricacies of the play. However, you have to understand, if you switch it to game speed, you can see how much a certain point of contact either affects or, in some cases, does not affect a player's overall momentum, because you can't see. Because, so for example, if I'm like this, and I see someone push me here, but then you realize I started like this, and then I went like this and this. I was already on my way down. Like, it's you have to understand where the beginning of the replay starts in terms of momentum, without just saying, "Oh, I checked him." No, he ate it. That happens. So, actually, and this is the thing. This is the play that I thought might cost the Dallas Stars a chance at winning the Stanley Cup. 3:13 left in the first overtime. The puck, after a long shift in the Dallas end, gets iced down. However, it doesn't get iced down. Andrei Vasilevsky is doing what I do all the time. Is a goalie, it's like, it's technically not gonna make it to me, so I'm gonna push up against the post and let it hit the post and go make it icing. But it wasn't icing. Vasilevsky's skate is here. The post is here. The puck comes in, hits Vasilevsky's skate, and keeps going. And they blow it for an icing. With 3:13 left in the first overtime, and a dead tired Dallas team. And I'm sitting there going, oh no. Oh no. This is not the way. Because, for the record, people will always find ways to and moan about who wins the Stanley Cup Finals, or Stanley Cup in general this year, based on the whole layoff that we've been through, and then the play-in rounds and all that such. However, I know, and we can argue this till the cows come home, but no matter what, there will always be people that feel there's an asterisk there. But what you don't want is to have an asterisk from the play itself, and that would have created a big asterisk. Luckily, the Dallas Stars don't give up a goal on that play, and they get it out, and then eventually the first overtime is over. Now, to start double overtime, I was wondering, this is actually the first double overtime in a Stanley Cup final game since Alec Martinez in Game 5 versus the New York Rangers. Sometimes I just get scared that history is going to repeat itself, and for the record, I don't have a dog in this fight. If Dallas wins, I'll be fine with it. If Tampa wins, I'll be fine with that too. Tampa's probably the best built team on paper in a long time. Every single position panned out perfectly for them. However, I do want to see how far this game will go before someone breaks. And this is truly a David versus Goliath. Nobody thought Dallas would make it this far. Everyone saw Tampa as a cup contender from the beginning of the year. The only people who didn't think they were a cup contender were the people thinking that sweep against the Blue Jackets would totally destroy them. It wasn't. That was like hazing for them. You're in, boys. Now you're into proper playoff mode. This is what you need to win. And by beating Columbus in 5, they did that. I just wanted to see where this would go, and I thought Tampa was going to get it. I really did. Lightning had a chance at 18:29. It just doesn't go. Gurianov has a breakaway stopped at 17 minutes. And then, later in the second overtime, Corey Perry scores on a scramble play, like I said before, to win the game. Now, what they've done with Corey Perry, well, first off, they moved up Pavelski a lot. They're having Pavelski play a lot more. And you know what? I was critical of Tyler Seguin. He got 3 assists this game. And Dallas won 4-3. Or, not 4-3, 3-2. Ugh, that's bad, isn't it? 3-2. Well, here's the thing. I knew Dallas won, right? And I knew Tyler Seguin had points on all of them. So I was like, but Dallas wins 3-2. Seguin hasn't scored yet, which sucks for him, considering he's supposed to be their big sniper. He's putting up points, though, and him and Perry, good tandem. Because I think Perry has got a lot grittier side than what Tyler Seguin does, who is a little more finesse on it. And he's helping Seguin, especially try to finish the plays that Seguin starts, which is going to be huge in the upcoming Game 6. Now, I'm very curious to see what happens in Game 6, because those Tampa players looked crushed. But however, going back to history, no team has came back from a 3-1 series deficit since 1942 with the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs. The team who knows how to blow 3-1 leads. Now, do I think Dallas will win Game 6? I personally picked Tampa in 6. I think there's a chance that Dallas wins. I think there's a chance, yes, and Carter picked Tampa in 6 too. We both did. We were twinning. He's very happy about it. Shush. But to say the least, I think Game 6 is going to be a war, and I see it going either a 1-goal game or a 2-goal game given an empty netter. A lot of games go like that, especially the finals. The last game. Because teams, no matter what they have left in the tank, are willing to push an extra 10%. Anything to stay alive in these playoffs. This Stanley Cup final has really impressed me because I, like a lot of people, had Dallas actually losing to Calgary back in the first round because I thought Calgary was too gritty for them and had a little more skill. But Dallas has proved everyone wrong, and they still have 2 more wins to go. But can they do it before Tampa wins 1? Guess we'll have to find out. Once again, thank you all for watching. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. Tell everyone about it. And we will see you for the Game 6 review. Thanks for watching.